Yeah, it's the Casimir Engine Show. The Casimir Engine Show podcast. You've got to excuse me this evening. Herbie, the studio dog, is barking like a demon. It's woof woof woof, not ka-ka-ka.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine.
That's me.
Hasn't that been done to death? Isn't that so 90s?
You think so?
Casimir Engine.
It's the Casimir Engine. It's not ka-ka-ka.
And this is Erin at 11 with Only Friends. So that's Erin at 11. She's from Glasgow. I'm going to get you all the info that you need to get in touch with Erin at 11. It's at Erin at 11. So it's not the kind of Twitter at thing. Is it an ampersand? No, they're not called ampersands, are they? It's not that. It's Erin, A-T, Erin at, so ERIN, A-T, 11, the word, not the number. Is complicated, isn't it? Anyway, just say she's from Glasgow. Erin at 11.com. All the letters, not any ats and numbers. Oh, whatever. I think she's fantastic. She's a singer-songwriter, would-be producer. I think she's doing a really good job. I like it a lot. Hey, what's on the show tonight, Casimir? I tell you, ask me that. My new best friend at Discogs. The man at Discogs can't believe his luck. I've just registered there. That's where you buy it, like records. Mrs. Engine don't know. So keep it under your tit for tat app. I've already gone and purchased something. And guess what I've purchased? Talk about being a hipster. I've only gone and purchased a cassette. The first thing I buy off Discogs is a cassette. The service on there was fantastic. Got a message, I'm sticking it in the post, you'll get it on Monday. When did I get it? Monday. What did you get, Kaz? I got a fashion special edition cassette. They were a band from Birmingham back in the 1980s, just a bit after Duran Duran. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, put Street Player in, and see Dee Harris playing that double guitar. Oh my lord, it's one of the bestest records ever. So, what's on the show tonight? I tell you, asked me, all the girls in the backyard coffee shop at Pride Park in Derby. They said Holly, Lola and Spark said, "Hey, Kaz, what's on the show tonight?" I said, "I'll tell you what's on the show. I've got content. I've got the Smedley Street Social. A PK in AOT was a winner and a loser in the same day. We've got a garage rage. All different types of genres of music. I can't keep up. The kids are back at school. I had an accident. What? Oh, you're right, Kaz. I think so, but I'm going to fill you in with the details. Having a nibble with the Casimir Engine. We've got a lot of food-related shiz going on. But before we do that, we're going to get some more music on. These are from Portugal. It's Ex-Thieves, and this is excellent. You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast. We're here for an hour. Top chit-chat, top music.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast.
That's the Ex-Thieves. They're from Lisbon in that there Portugal. And I'm liking that a lot. I don't know, it's got something, don't know, it's on the tip of my tongue what it, and I shouldn't ever say that reminds me of so and so. It's the music that counts. But there, yeah, that's Ex-Thieves. That's at Ex-Thieves, EXTHIEVES, and you can get them on Spotify. So if you put Ex-Thieves into Spotify, search for them on Facebook. As I say, they're from Lisbon. There's also exthieves.bandcamp.com. So if you can hear the dog barking in the background, I'm absolutely gonna brain him. Honestly, he is just going crazy tonight.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast.
And Irby, the studio dog, barking. So what you been doing then, Kaz? Well, on Friday night, if you're a Matlock person, I know this is alienating the rest of the world, and we've got listeners all over the place. We got them in the Lebanon, we got them in Ukraine, we got them in Russia, Australia, America, all over. So, but if you're from Matlock, you might have gone to the Smedley Street Social. I went along, and we ended up falling into the gate, designate at the gate, and we had a fab time in there. Tell you what, it's a brilliant event because all the shops open at night and everybody's walking around and visiting shops, and there's a competition. You go in and you get your kind of card stamped and you have a chat with the people who are probably running shops that you might not have gone into before or might have been a bit scared to go into. There's a great bike shop on Smedley Creek. Smedley Creek? What? Smedley Street. Zapnet. They were showing all their, they got lots of vintage bikes. They were all on show outside. You got loads of places. There's Osteopath, and then there's the girls who run, they've got a 50s, Bella Figura. They got a 50s, 50s dress shop. You can get most of them on Facebook and on the Smedley Street Community Facebook page. But it gave a real community, you know, David Cameron would have been proud. It was like his mega... What was it called? I can't even remember what it was called these days. It was his big idea, wasn't it? Anyway, the biggest shock was I bumped into Sue at the at Designate. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are. It's Sue who's got a fetish for hot Morris men. What is that all about? She was explaining to me that she'd been to a festival in Shrewsbury and they'd had Morris men on, and there's some tasty Morris men in the, is it Sheffield Morris men group called, I think they're called Seven Rivers Morris men team. Anyway, the disturbing bit was, she said, I've been listening to your, only some of them, not all of them, some of your podcasts, Casimir. You remind me of that DJ. Who is it? I'm thinking, here we go, it's going to be John Peel or something like that. Who is it? It's Sean Keaveney of Six Music, something like that. Oh, no. Steve Wright in the afternoon. I haven't even got a posse, I've got a barking dog in the background. More like Ed Stupot Stewart back in the 1970s when it, like that. You used to have that in the background, didn't it? I've got a real one, he won't shut up. Anyway, you're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast, and this is Wolf Club, and they are from Nottinghamshire. That's Wolf Club. They're from, should say, London and Nottingham. And do I love that? Oh, you better believe it. Oh, I didn't switch my music up there. And we had some bad news because April Towers, who were the Casimir Engine's tip for the top, they've split up for a bit. I was going to go and see them at Rescue Rooms in Autumn. Anyway, it's all been called off. So Wolf Club have stepped up to the mark. They are the Casimir Engine new top band. And I've got some more, I've got some chit-chat about that later. The number of musical genres there are at the moment is unbelievable. There's some I've never heard of. But I know now that I'm actually into synth wave. That's what Wolf Club are. What else has been happening, Kat? Well, I tell you what, I handed out the very first mixtape. Right, we do mixtape prizes from the Casimir Engine Show podcast. And we awarded it. If you follow us on... I better get that out of the way, ain't I know I'm going to run out of bed music any minute now, so let's get that. You can contact this show at Casimir Podcast on Twitter. And then I think you can do that on Facebook as well. There's like a short code thing and it's called at Casimir Podcast. You stick that into this search for people, places and things section on Facebook at the top of your Facebook page and it will send you straight to us. I'm going to move that right back there. Oh, ding, ding, ding. I'll take that out in the edit. And also, there's www.thecasimirengineshow.podbean.com. That's our website. But yeah, if you want to enter our competition to win a mixtape. Now, the problem is I'm limited on the number of cassette tapes that I've got, even though you can buy them off of Amazon now, can't you? So I'm going to get some more eventually. But the first winner was PK in AOT. You had to, I tell you what, I'll do one in a bit, but you've got to name something off the podcast. I'll put it on Facebook, I'll put it on Twitter, listen to the podcast and listen to the code. The code will be coming up in a bit. You send that in, first person to send it in. Doesn't matter where you are, I'll send you a mixtape made up of all my vinyl, what I am looking at now. So, all the tracks are recorded on my gem of a stereo system that I'm also looking at, my Ferguson 1000. Also, my big thing this week is, I'm now Facebook friends with top blow who's out of that fashion band that I mentioned earlier. Did I mention it? I bought a cassette off Discogs. Yeah, D. Harris. So he will be on the next mixtape. Street Player off that album will be on the next mixtape. I've got to run out of music again. Come on, back to the beginning. Ding 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 ding. So the new code, or the competition code, all you've got to do is find out what the new Wolf Club album is, and you can contact Wolf Club at on Spotify or at Wolf Club Band on Twitter, and you can find the information there. So the first person to send me in the name of Wolf Club's new album will get a mixtape off of me. I can hear you all saying, I don't think I'll bother entering that. No, honestly, it's a proper mixtape and a draw on it and all sorts, and I write all the tracks out in like pen. All in my own illegible like you can't read my handwriting or anything. So, yeah, contact us on Twitter or on the Facebook page. First one gets a mixtape. Doesn't matter whether you're in the Lebanon or in London, you'll get a mixtape off me. Our next band is Summer Bloom. Great album. You've got to catch up on this one. I'll post all the details of all the bands that I'm playing tonight. This is I, Me, You, and it's off their last album. They've got another one coming out soon. Everybody's writing albums, I can't believe it. But you're going to love this one. I do anyway.
Casimir Engine. I've listened to your show and it's a shambles.
Oasis, that's Summer Bloom. Summer Bloom from Birmingham. I don't know what their Twitter page is, but you might have caught James down at the Boat in Matlock. If you're in this neck of the woods, he played there the other Friday. Hey, this is new bed music. Ooh, chicka chicka chick chick. Ow! This is a bit funked up, innit? It's a bit too funky, actually, for the topic, what I have got. Garage Rage, or Garage Rage. So, I'm in the garage the other day, and I'm an early adopter of technology. So, what I do now is if it's available, I pay at the pump. You know, I don't go to the kiosk and converse with people. I just pay at the pump. I like machinery and technology. But I'm behind another car, right? So when I pulled in, I get out and and I'm thinking, that bloke's going to drive off in front of me because he's been sat in the car 10 minutes. What happens? Old geezer gets out. If you're not from this neck of the woods as well, a geezer, if you're listening overseas, a geezer is a man. And he gets out and then starts to amble over to the petrol pump. Oh, it's going to be ages. So I fill up the car, pay for it. He's still filling up his car. He's got golf gear on. That was the warning sign. Then he ambles over and reads all the headlines in the newspaper, at the newspaper thing. Then does his shopping in the shop. Has a bit of a chit-chat with the ladies in the garage, like forecourt place. I'm sitting there doing my absolute proverbial. It just got me so wound up you wouldn't believe. But he kept on going back and having another chat. As he's walking out, he kept on turning around and going back. So, Garage Rage. It just winds me up. I don't know what it is. It's just sitting around twist. What we got coming up then, music-wise, Kaz? We got Darren Claxton. New song. Darren's from Belper. And what we're going to do is we're going to get him down, have a chat, and he's going to play live. He's going to just play like his guitar and sing live for the Casimir Engine Show podcast. That'll be coming up soon. So this is a new track. This is called Chapters Just Begun. You can get in touch with, it's at Darren J. Claxton on Twitter. And I'll post up some contact details where you can listen to his music. He's chucks songs out, like real top songs, like every week. Anyway, this is Chapters Just Begun, Darren J. Claxton.
Long, long time ago, my boiling blood would flow straight into my head. It caused me oh such shame and other people's pain, my constant feeling straight. Flaws that you can see and others I can feel, but most of them are gone. Most of all I'm me, the only one I'll be, refreshing constantly. Take me by tell you stories of how I used to be. Lead me down the road of tales left untold. The chapter's just begun. The chapter's just begun. Years and years rolled by. I sat and wondered why, where it all went wrong. The patience that I've found had pinned me to the ground. My temper's almost gone. Take me by the sea, let me tell you stories of how I used to be. Lead me down the road of tales left untold. The chapter's just begun. Just take me by the sea, let me tell you stories of how I used to be. Lead me down the road of tales left untold. The chapter's just begun. The chapter's just begun. Flaws that you can see, and others I can feel, but most of them are gone. And most of all I'm me, the only one I'll be, refreshing constantly, refreshing constantly. Chapter's just begun.
That's Darren J. Claxton.
Chapter's just begun.
With Chapter's just begun.
Chapter's just begun.
He'll hate me for doing the duet.
Chapter's just begun.
You're listening to the best podcast in the world. It's the Casimir Engine Show.
This is Low Tide Theory from Devon. All the music on the Casimir Engine Show podcast, unsigned bands. I know you don't believe me.
It's the Casimir Engine Show podcast.
Absolutely love that. That's Low Tide Theory with Crash. That is absolutely ace-tastics. Oh yeah. Hey, what we got coming up? Well, if we've got time, let's have a look on the old dialometer. We've got 20 minutes. We got Before They Are Hanged band from Derby, bit of punk rock. We got Folks Heads from London. And if we've got time, we've got The Age of Coloured Lizards. You got to have a band with a name like that. Why wouldn't you? But that got me that got me thinking. I heard an advert on Six Music the other day, and they were talking about all different genres of music. Right, well, when I was a kid, you used to have you're either a rocker or a punk rocker or a mod or a futurist, pop, yeah, a soul boy, something like that. And then that were about it, wasn't it? Or you were called a grebo or something. You know, we didn't have that many genres, right? I was listing them off today. Laptronica. What's Laptronica all about? Tech Step. Sybian. What? They're making these up. They're joining words together. Lo-fi. Jit. Hip life. Queercore. What is that all about? Why can't we just go back to normal stuff? I don't get it. All these different genres of music. It's no wonder you don't know what you're listening to these days. All you know is on this show, it's all good and it's all unsigned. And this band are no exception. Right, this is Before They Are Hanged. They're from Derby, Centre of the Universe. If you want to get in touch with these, at Before They Are hang on. At Before They Are H1. Anyway, you can get them on, that's on Twitter, and beforetheyarehanged.bandcamp.com. So you can get all the music. Let me give you a flave. Oh, that was another one. Bongo Flavour. What's that music? Anyway, let me give you a flavour of what Before They Are Hanged are alike. You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show podcast. We're rattling the tracks out. And if you've tuned in wondering where Kev Rocker Robson is this week, right, you only get him in small doses. I can only take him in small doses. He'll be back in a couple of weeks to, I think it's for part 2 of 4. Let's have a bit of Before They Are Hanged, a punk rock from Derby. Let's make sure that the volume is on 11.
We will shut you up when I'm all out of luck. Still
That's DIY from Before They Are... Whoa, 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 whoa. That's going to be going through your head for the next couple of days. That's Before They Are Hanged. They're from Derby. It's punk rock at its finest. Hang on, why ain't that work? Oh, it has. Ooh. Hey, this is a new one as well. I should have like the music from Casualty. Because I had an accident at the weekend. Oh, I cried a little bit. And there just happens to be, you know when something happens, there's always somebody walking past the gate, isn't there, while I'm lying on the floor, writhing around, holding my finger. What happened, Kaz? Well, I tell you. So I've got one of them telescopic kind of... It was from Lidl. Or Aldi, it was one of them, right? And it's like a green pole that extends out like a prop, like a clothes prop. It extends out. It's like an extending pole thing. And on the end, it's got like clipper things, so you can clip like branches and stuff off trees, And then it's got this big long piece of string that you pull up and down, and it makes the choppers chop the branches. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got that, and. We've got an apple tree. Hey, that sounds idyllic, Cass. It's been there since we moved in. It's not like we've planted it or anything, but to cut a long story short, we had the drive dug out at the house when we first moved in, and now this apple tree is like 20 foot up, which is near on useless because all the apples fall out the tree, fall onto the drive, and then they all smash to bits. So... Mrs. Engine says, hey, can you get us some apples out of the tree and make apple pie? Hey, that'd be nice with a bit of tubby custard. So I'm just going down to my mum's. I'll come back in a bit and then I'll go cook the apples. All right, leave it with me. So I go in the shed and I get my thingy out. And I twist it and pull it out so it's at its longest point. And I'm cutting... branches with apples on. The trouble is, the connection thing, right, wasn't tight, and the whole thing slid back into the bit that I'm holding, but I've got my finger on the joining bit. So just imagine this thing's probably about, 10 foot up. It comes sliding and crashing straight down onto my hand. Except just my main finger, my index finger. I have got what you would call the worstest blood blister in the world. It absolutely kills. It's all gone purple on the end. Hey, this is Folksheads. They're from London. This is Yellow. And it's Ace. I bet you weren't expecting that, were you? Oh, I've got new music again. Oh, they're all a bit bassy, aren't they? That was False Heads. You can get them on Twitter at False Heads. They're from East London. That was Yellow from the new EP, Less Is Better. They've also got a website, falseheads.com. They're brilliant, aren't they? That'll get played again and again. So, the final thing I want to talk to you about is eating, of course. I'm still on my diet, and I am actually losing weight this time. But I'm doing a new feature, having a nibble with the Casimir Engine. Because I've been out and about, doing some walking with Herbie, the barking studio dog. And we've been to 3, right? And I'm running through these, not in any particular order. Right, number 1, Whitworth Institute Matlock. That's where, if you're an engineer, the Whitworth thread, that's where that's from. Yeah, whatever, Kaz, get on with it. Get on with the cake chat. Anyway, so at the Whitworth is the Terrace Tea Rooms. Fantastic. It is very, very good coffee. And the best is fried egg sandwiches. Oh, we had one on Saturday morning, watching the football, having a fried egg sandwich. I felt a bit guilty because all the footballing kids were all like, oh, gives a bacon sandwich or something. Anyway, in number 2, the lady... Oh, I'm kicking the microphone. Now, you might have to help me with this one. So if you're in Wirksworth, let me know who the lady is who does the brownies and the flapjack on the market, on the farmer's market. It was on Saturday. I tell you what, the chocolate caramel brownie and the chocolate coated flapjack. Oh my wordy lordy. But in number 3, this is this is my favourite at the moment, right? This is Peak Feast, which is in Yulegrave, right? So Yulegrave's in Derbyshire. And I went there. It's as you go into Yulegrave, there's the water tower, and you fling a bit of a right at the water tower. I'm just trying to find a Twitter, YouTube. What? I was trying to find it without anybody noticing. I've got to bring that right back here because I ain't finished yet. So, Peak Feast. Oh, here we go. Let me just have a look. Yeah, it's at Peak, PEAKFEAST. And it's in Yulegrave, which is also known as Pommy. Right, if somebody in Yulegrave can tell me what Pommy is, what it all means, I need to know. I don't know why. The lady there, Dawn Skinner, she cooks the most magnificent ginger flapjack, and it's got like sticky stem ginger bits in it. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. That was what Mrs. Engine had, but I finished off. I thought you were on a diet, Kaz. But I had treacle tart. Oh my, and it got like lemon in it. Oh, I'm salivating, eh? Honestly, it was so gorgeous. It was beyond belief. So that's Peak Feast. Give her a follow at Peak Feast in Yulegrave, Derbyshire. I'm just clearing me my last track off there. Dawn Skinner at Peak Feast. She's the best bakerist. I saw they do a local delicacy in Derbyshire called hominy pie. And honestly, I saw a bloke eating one of these hominy pies. I nearly wrestled him to the ground just to nick his hominy pie. It was absolutely magnificent. Hey, we've got some new friends from Scandinavia. They're from Oslo. They're called The Age of Coloured Lizards. This is a new track called Tomorrow. I've got to put it on while I nip down and get something to eat that is just never going to replace ginger flapjack or treacle tart from Peak Feast. You've been listening to the Casimir Engine Show. We're near the end. We're right at the end. Thank you very much for everybody for downloading. We're well over 500 downloads now. I know that don't sound very much, but for me, that is mega. So thank you, everybody out there. Don't forget you can get in touch with the show at Casimir Podcast, and that's the same on Twitter and on Facebook. Let's have some Age of Coloured Lizards. This is Tomorrow, and I will see you next week. That's the Age of Coloured Lizards from Oslo. Thank you very much for joining us on the Casimir Engine Show podcast. If you get chance, give us a review, give us a like thing, check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, And tell all your mates to check into the Casimir Engine Show podcast. We're quite good fun, really. I'll see you next week.
The Casimir Engine. Reliably mediocre.